Well, you know who you would have needed? Batman.
I totally would have needed Batman. And you know what? Batman would have saved the day because he is Batman. So let's welcome to the show. He is the Dark Knight of PA Cosplay, and he's Batman. What's going on there, Batman?
I'm Batman.
Oh, he is so awesome. Yeah, you know, I'm going to say this. Good. Now, I got to tell you, like, and I say this to Echo Endless too. Whenever she's on, like, whenever you see Echo as She-Hulk, like, she is She-Hulk. Like, nobody else can be She-Hulk. And you are Batman. Nobody else I've ever seen do Batman can be Batman like you.
Thanks. I really appreciate that.
And I don't know if you heard earlier, like, I had mentioned how nobody has, as far as I know, nobody has seen you without the mask except for one person who is our friendly neighborhood pirate. And the pirate, I was thinking, the pirate can almost be like your Alfred.
I can see that. I actually refer to him more as my Commissioner Gordon, even though he knows the real me. But actually, a few people have seen me without the mask, have actually talked to me, and didn't even know it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was the story he told. He told me, like, one day you stopped by the store and dropped something off for another cosplayer, and you were there talking to them, and they didn't realize it was you, and then you left, and then they picked up the stuff, and the pirate was quite amused by that whole situation. Right.
I kind of blend into the shadows even without the cape and cowl.
So the Dark Knight of Cosplay, of PA Cosplay, he is our first. He's our featured cosplayer in our first issue of our magazine, and I think there definitely was no better of a choice to represent cosplaying in the Philadelphia area than you yourself.
I actually disagree with that, but I appreciate it. There's plenty of others you could have chosen who've been in it a lot longer and actually do a lot more than I do. But now, I really do appreciate it.
You're quite welcome. Now, how long have you been doing this for?
Wow. Well, like I told you before, my first custom bat suit was when I was 5 years old, which is a very, very long time ago. I guess I was cosplaying before there was the word cosplay. But really, to be active as far as going to conventions and doing parties on a regular basis, I'd say it's been probably a little over 2 years now.
Now, did you start doing the parties first, or did you start doing the cosplaying first with the conventions and all?
Probably I did. Well, I went to the original, I think, like I told you, the original Wizard World convention back in, I think it was 92, 93, somewhere around there. But that was just, it was sponsored by Wizard World. It was at the old Civic Center. It wasn't called Wizard World. I think it was just called Philadelphia Comic Con.
Okay.
And at that point, I was just, some weird guy in a bat suit. Wasn't really a big cosplay presence. And I'd say that was the first convention in costume. And then I did parties over the years for friends and people that knew I'm Batman and asked me to show up. But then it was a few free comic book days at different stores, and then it was Batman Day, really, at Ontario Street. Actually, the first Batman Day, it was 3 different comic shops in one day, which was a little crazy. Yeah, I was running back and forth, but it was interesting, and it was just at Ontario Street. It was just the best feeling from the people that showed up. There were so many people, and they were just so appreciative and happy to see Batman that I was like, okay, this is Gotham City for me.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah, I mean, it's really I've guess the last 2 years or so that I've really come to know you and know Batman, and have seen your character truly take off in the area.
Yeah, it actually has. It's really surprised me, and I get a lot of emails and messages on Facebook, and just the messages I get from the parents for the having the pictures with their kids. It really makes it all worthwhile.
That's awesome. And it's got to be kind of like almost shocking to you too. Like, I mean, it's really turned into a thing like where now, like at these conventions, like there's all these like photo shoots and all, and some of the pictures that are coming out of these things, I mean, they look amazing.
Yeah, it really, honestly, well, the picture you used in the magazine by Joshua, that blew my mind. When I saw that picture, I looked at it and I said, "That's me. That's not me." He does a great job. A lot of the photographers do a great job, but Joshua, and I hope I don't butcher his last name, Estacio Photography. He's a great guy. He does the, we did the Superheroes Read 2 initiative at Ontario Street to encourage kids to read.
Okay.
That was a lot of fun, and hopefully we're going to be doing more of those. But yeah, he does a great job, and it's funny when you build this, this costume in your basement, garage, or whatever, and see what you look like in the mirror, and it's like, yeah, that looks okay, that looks like Batman. But then when you see what a photographer can do with it, it just blows your mind.
Now, and these costumes like you build, I mean, it's not like you're sitting there and you're not knitting and stitching together like cloth and all. I mean, these are like heavy duty freaking costumes.
Yeah, the latest one though, the one actually in that picture, the gray one, that's really that is spandex, and it's a sub dye pattern that I bought online. That's modeled after the Dawn of Justice bat suit with that pattern on it. But then I, customize it with my own style, my oval logo that I like, and switch the cowls up. I have as you know, I have a few cowls I switch back and forth between. But it's a lot. That one's a lot lighter than, I think it's about 60, I think over 60 pounds with the cape, the heavy black one. The one I almost died in at the Marvel vs. DC Day at Ontario Street in July.
Yeah, like that one, I mean, it was probably like 100 and something degrees out. It was so humid, and I was there in a t-shirt and a pair of shorts, and I was dying. I felt so bad for Batman. Like at one point, he actually like had to go to like just sit in his car in the AC. I think, right?
Yeah, I did. I sat in the car in the AC, and I poured some ice and water into the costume because once I'm in the suit, I don't take it off until the event's done. I don't take the mask off. I don't take anything off until the event's done. And a lot of the other cosplayers, they had costumes where they could take parts off. They were still getting air, and I think I was there from probably like 10 o'clock in the morning, and then I think it was about 1, 2 o'clock when everything started to turn white in my vision, and I thought, you know what, I better go sit down before kids see Batman just sprawled out on the parking lot. So, yeah, I think I took about 15, 20 minutes and cooled myself off and went back out for the rest of the day. That was a real test.
So, all right.
But it was
I gotta ask a goofy question then. So you don't take the costume off for once you're in it, and what if you got to go to the bathroom?
There are provisions for that. The batsuit is fully functional. There is a way to take those breaks without taking the costume off. And not going in the costume. There is a cod piece that's removable.
That is so awesome. Batman
I
is
plan
prepared.
ahead for everything.
Oh, that is so great. That is so freaking great. Now, who is like your favorite Batman in the movies? Like, who has portrayed your favorite Batman?
In the movies, it's Keaton. Absolutely. I think Affleck is doing a great job so far. He looks like Bruce Wayne. He looks like Batman. But Keaton, to me, I remember when they announced that Keaton was going to be Batman, and I thought, how can this guy be Batman? You know, I still think of him from, you know, he was a comedian.
Yeah.
Back then, he was on TV. He was a comedian.
Mr. Mom.
Mr. Mom.
You're right. And even before that, he was on a TV show or two, I believe. I can't think of the names now, but you know, he was just a goofy, skinny, little comedian. I thought, how can this guy be Batman? But then I saw the movie, and I was like, okay, he's Batman. And he was, I mean, before him it was Adam West, it was the old TV serials, it was the cartoon on TV, you know, the old Hanna-Barbera cartoons. And Keaton was the first one to actually change his voice from Bruce Wayne to Batman. And I thought, finally, that makes sense. Because I used to think when I watched, even as a little kid, watching the 60s series, how can all these people, Commissioner Gordon, Chief O'Hara, not realize that Batman and Bruce Wayne speak exactly the same? You know, there's no difference in the voice and the manner in which they speak or anything. But Keaton changed that. And then as far as the voice goes, to me, Kevin Conroy is the voice of Batman.
Interesting.
You know, I think he really perfected that in the animated series.
No, I really agree with you on the Keaton thing, and just to add something there to it, I think that he added a layer of depth to Bruce Wayne. There was darkness behind his eyes, and that is something that the later films have explored in more detail. But at the time, coming off of Adam West, that was
right.
It was a brilliant performance.
Absolutely. And, you know, just like that, even the one scene with while he's Bruce Wayne in Vicky Vale's apartment with the Joker there, and it's, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. You know, you saw that.
Absolutely.
Even as, you know, he revealed Bruce Wayne is nuts. You know, he was scary in that moment, even as Bruce Wayne.
Now, how about you mentioned Adam West. What were your thoughts like to me? I guess growing up with Adam West, like that was always just Batman to me. Like I've never really truly gotten into the newer Batmans, like since Keaton on down the line.
Really?
Yeah, I've just always liked the Batman of Adam West, or even like the Hanna-Barbera cartoons of the 70s. And
well, yeah, they were. I enjoyed those. I enjoyed just having that on TV. But I told you before, even as a child, I would look at it and say, okay, he's Batman. He's a creature of the night. But how is blue and gray a bat? Where does the blue come from? You know, what bat is blue? It's, to me, you know, seeing Keaton in the full black suit finally is like, okay, that makes sense. That's a bat, and I can go with the black and gray too. It's dark. I understand that, you know, in the comics, well, the first Batman comic, he was black and gray, and then it evolved to a blue and gray, just because it looked better on the page. It was, brighter. It was colorful for the comics, but a blue and gray Batman to me makes no sense at all.
So we would never see you cosplay as the Adam West Batman, I guess then.
I highly doubt it.
Now, how about in the old serials? You mentioned those too. What did you think about those the older original style Batmans?
I actually still have those. I have DVDs of those, and I've watched them from time to time. And for the time, I thought they were good. They were good for the time, and those outfits. Well, the whole serials, both of them are in black and white anyway. But you can see he is black and gray. So
yeah,
I like it. I like it. Other than the giant ears pointing out to the side, I didn't like that. They could have done a better job there.
Now, how about the cons? I mean, it's con season now. You got the big one coming up next week, Wizard World. Which is your favorite con to attend?
I actually tend to prefer the smaller ones. I like the less commercial. Well, it's kind of strange to say, but really, I said less commercial, but less publicized ones, the ones that aren't as, just crowded. I really enjoy RetroCon. I enjoyed Great Philly. Great Philly was a great time. And actually, I went to, the last one I went to was East Coast Comic Con, which I didn't think I was going to do before. Just, I usually don't, it's a little further out of the area than I travel. And I really had a good time at that. That was a good one. And Baltimore Comic Con actually was great. And when I saw you at one of the what was it, the Tom's River?
Yeah,
Comic-Con?
I was going to say that was so shocking to me because I mean that was a good hour and a half, almost 2-hour ride. Well, for me at least. And
right.
It was just a small little comic book show, and you were there, and I was blown away. I was like, oh my God, he came all this way. And the best part is he rides all that way in costume.
Yes, I do. Full bat suit in a black Mustang, cowl on and everything. But actually, awesome. Well, that I know you said that's a long way for you, and it's it's about the same ride for me too. But to me, I actually grew up in Jersey, and I spent a lot of my youth and teen years and on at Seaside Heights, long before that stupid Jersey Shore show. Back when it was fun. So to me, Tom's River, Seaside Heights, it's like the neighborhood to me. I really enjoyed going to that one. And, it is definitely a smaller con, but at the smaller cons, you get to talk to people more. You get to talk to the vendors, the artists, and, just interact with people a lot more without. Yeah, at the bigger cons, you can get some pressure. Like, you have to be here, you have to be there, you have to, just be part of this group. And
right.
I like, I like more relaxed approach to it.
Yeah, that's how I am too. Like, I mean, not that I cosplay, but going to these conventions, like like your quote unquote Wizard World one. I haven't been there in a couple years, and I was going to go to this one because Charlie Sheen was going to be there. And when he canceled, I was excited. I was so happy. I was like, oh, good, I don't have to go. Just because it is so crowded that you truly can't enjoy yourself.
Right. And I've been back and forth on that for a while. Like, I don't know if I'm going, I'm not going, and at this point, I'm not going. That actually falls on my birthday weekend, and I was thinking, well, you know what, that would be pretty cool to do a con on my birthday, but I don't know. It's just too much for me, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with you. It would have been fun to meet the man with the tiger blood, but
absolutely.
Yeah. But that's a reason to skip it. And you know, with the cons, though, I've actually met a lot of the celebrities. There have been so many nice people, and I just want to talk about John Wesley Shipp for a minute. I met him at Great Philly Comic Con.
He was awesome.
He was absolutely the nicest guy, nicest celebrity I've ever met. And you know, you saw the picture I did a picture with him of holding the Watchmen button.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for the recent, you know, the button crossover and the button
right.
storyline, and it was before that came out. And you know, I went up to him and talked to him at first, and you know, asked to get his picture, and I pulled the button out of my utility belt, and I said, "Can we take a picture with this?" And he just said, "We can do whatever you want." And somebody walking by saw the button and said, "Wow, that's really important," like pointed at it. And John Wesley Shipp looked at me and he said, "I guess this really is important. Other people know what it is." He didn't know what it was, and I briefly
right.
explained it to him. And then I tried to describe the covers that were coming out. So I just described it to him, and we did that picture, and he let us take, 5-6 shots, but he just nailed it, like just the expression on his face and everything. And he was so kind and so accommodating. He's just really a great guy.
Yeah, he is. Actually, I met him the following day when you met him. And
yeah, and yet you avoided me that whole day. You couldn't find my ginormous cape I was wearing.
I don't know how the hell that happened.
How
do I
could
go
you not spot me?
You know what it was? I think because we went early, and I think you were there later in the day.
I was there all day.
Oh, well then, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he truly was, like, I've met, again, like you, like so many celebrities, and he was so nice. And he even did like a quick, my older daughter, Rita, couldn't make it because of work, and he even did like a quick video saying hello to her and all. I mean, such a nice guy.
I saw that. That was great. Yeah, he is. And another one was Robin Taylor, who plays the Penguin on Gotham.
Yes.
Yeah, I met him last year, and he's another one. He was so nice, and I had the black bat suit on, and I walked up to him, and he was just like, "Oh, the Penguin finally gets to meet Batman," and I just said, "Are you behaving yourself, Oswald?" And he did this like little, ooh, it's like, "Oh, you've got the voice too." He was. And we did a few pictures. He was another really nice guy, and wanted to talk about the show and asked what I liked, what I didn't like about it. It was just a really, again, a genuinely nice person.
That's awesome. Now, what are your thoughts about the Gotham TV show?
Have you watched it this season?
You know what? I've didn't really pay attention to it too much. I couldn't get into it the first part of the season. The last few weeks, I've really gotten into it, where it's really brought my attention back to it.
It's been amazing. I think they've done a great job, and just seeing, they're definitely getting into Bruce is, I don't know what he's supposed to be in the show right now. I'm thinking in his teens, like mid-teens, and he's really becoming Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't sure at first the idea of it. It's really even though it's supposed to be a Batman show, it's really the story of Jim Gordon, and they do a great job with that. And Harvey Bullock, to me, he steals the show almost every time he's on there. But
he is a trip. He is so funny.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what they're going to do with her, but along with Bullock, I got to tell you guys, Barbara is money every time she's on screen.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how her character is ever going to recover, but she's amazing.
Yeah, she's. It's like they're doing a version of Harley Quinn with her lately, though. She's got that craziness to her.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they totally changed the direction of her character, huh?
Oh, yeah. From the first season, absolutely. So when do you want to talk about the CW shows and how many spoilers? Do we have to do a spoiler alert before we talk about them, or what?
Oh, I'll tell you what.
Well, the real question is, how many more hours do you have?
That's true.
Well, let's start on Monday night. Supergirl. I didn't see it. I need to go back and watch the whole season. So I don't know if you guys caught it. So if you guys caught it, you're more than welcome to talk about it.
Well, I need to rewatch the whole season because I've been in and out of it because it conflicts with Gotham, and I choose Gotham over Supergirl. But I did watch the season finale, and I actually, with all of the CW shows, I thought these were the best season finales ever for any of them. And I was impressed by it. And with Supergirl, it just seems like they are bringing in so many real comic book characters. Martian Manhunter, Miss Martian, Red Tornado. They're bringing all these characters, are just like dumping them in the show, and they're pretty close to their comic book outfits, and I really like that about the show. I also like that, as has been a history with CW shows, they are honoring the past of the DC shows. They bring in Terry Hatcher. They have Terry Hatcher as the villain of this. They have Dean Cain as her adoptive father. They have Helen Slater as her adoptive mother. Helen Slater, the original Supergirl from the movies. Yeah, I love that they do that. But
I do too.
I don't remember all the details of this season. Like I said, I was in and out of it, but I thought the season finale was great.
No, I'll say that I think it was a really solid season. I think that it suffered from not having Cat Grant, and honestly, it's only because she's so well written and her delivery is just amazing. But I really like where it goes. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, she was in the finale too, so
it was, and she was awesome.
Right, right, exactly. Yeah. And and they brought Superman back in.
The question, right? The question was, does Cat Grant know that Kara is Supergirl?
Yes,
and they answered it. Yes, she does. Oh, man.
But Kara doesn't know that Cat Grant knows.
Right. But I mean, it was so fun. She's so smart. I mean, she figured out who Jimmy was instantly. What I mean? It was a very well. Earlier, Bay, we were talking about like female positive stuff, and that's a show that has so many like positive female roles. From Linda Carter as the president to Alex. Not so much this season, but last season. She was a monster, man. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
She was a badass.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. And I completely forgot about that. They have the original Wonder Woman in the show, too, Linda Carter, which is awesome. The one issue I have with the show, and you brought up Jimmy Olsen, my issue with, we can't even call him Jimmy Olsen. It's James Olsen.
Right.
To me, Jimmy Olsen is not a superhero. He's not a cool, good-looking guy that women are attracted to. Jimmy Olsen in the comics is a nerdy photographer, little geeky guy.
Right. Right.
He's Jimmy Olsen. He's Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen. Like that was, but I love. To me, it's James Olsen in that show is not the Jimmy Olsen from the comics, but he's a great character on that show. I love that they made him Guardian, who is, that's. Now I'm drawing a blank on Guardian's real name because I think there were 2, 3 different Guardians in the comics.
Yeah, there were a few. There were a few of them actually, and I want to say one of the other ones was on. I think you're talking about Jim Harper, though, right?
Yeah, Jim Harper, that's it, right?
Yeah.
Right. That was the Guardian. I was thinking. To me, that's like he's playing Jim Harper.
Yeah. Who,
he's not Jimmy Olsen.
Interestingly enough, though, I mean, Golden Guardian, the book that he premiered in was Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, number 135. So it is kind of like at least a little nod to that. You know what I mean?
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. That's really cool. Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think the show. I really love what they did with Mon-El, with him going in the direction that he has to go in because of who his character is. Team Nail has a reason to be a hero. You know what I mean? Like
right, absolutely. I wish they would have given him I wish they would have shown him in the red suit with the blue cape, though. That's my one gripe. Like he had a red suit at one point. I think when he was in the pod, he was wearing a red suit. Yeah. Yeah. So
I think we'll
would have
probably
added a
see
blue
him next
cape.
season.
Yeah. But
we saw the Legion ring in the Fortress of Solitude, so I imagine that's going to play in there somewhere.
Yeah, and they had the Legion ring was also in the Speed Force. That was it last season when the Flash was running through the Speed Force, and actually in that they showed John Wesley's ship as the Flash from the '90s TV series, but they showed the Legion ring, and it looked like a shot of the Legion ring from Smallville.
Yeah. That's funny, man. But I mean, it was a solid season. I think that this guy is probably my second favorite Superman.
Yeah. I think I like the way Henry Cavill. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, how he pronounces it, but I like the way he looks as Superman. I like what he does, but I don't like the material he's been given so far. I do not like a dark Superman. Batman's dark. Superman is, they say his symbol means, he says his symbol means hope. Well, then act that way. Don't be this, depressed, everybody hates me, and,
You want the big blue Boy Scout.
Right. Be the Superman in the Supergirl series. Be a symbol of hope and actually smile once in a while. Superman smiles. Batman doesn't. Superman does.
Oh, too funny. And Bay, you haven't seen it yet, but you get an answer to the question, who's going to win on a fight, Superman or Supergirl?
Absolutely. That was great.
You know what? I think I heard the answer, and people were shocked by it and disappointed by it.
I'm telling you, I wasn't disappointed by it.
No, and I thought that people are saying that it's not comics accurate. I thought that recently it is comic accurate.
Right.
Ever since it wasn't New 52. It was before that when Supergirl came back and Batman found her. And, was basically measuring her powers and basically said, she's more powerful than you.
Absolutely. I thought it was well done. The fight was well choreographed. It didn't look fake. You know what I mean? Like, they did a great job.
you know, all around in CW shows, especially in the finales with the special effects, they did an incredible job. And you know, just the not just the finale, but last week on the Flash it was very quick, which is appropriate. But the fight between Flash and Savitar in the park, that high speed fight, I just thought, this is great for TV. It's amazing.
Absolutely. And can we say one thing about the Flash, man? Does anybody deliver their lines better than Captain Cold?
No, come on. Well, actually, we can't just say it about the Flash now. We have to say that about the CW in general, because he's on every show now.
Yeah, right? Oh, man. So speaking of the Flash, so what was everybody's thoughts going into the finale, how they finished it off?
Well, I thought, honestly, the part I was sad about is my favorite version of Wells is gone.
Poor HR.
I know. He was you know, people say he was useless or whatever, but he became the heart of the team, the inspiration, and just the things he did, the things he said, I just loved every time he was on screen and his interactions with Cisco. And yeah, you can't say enough about the actor either, because he's played at least 3 versions of that character now, and he does them all completely differently.
Yeah, that's awesome. That speaks volumes for him.
It's hard to be too sad about his death, though, because he really they finished his story. You know what I mean? Like, he got such a complete from beginning to end story that they made him a hero in his death. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they absolutely
amazing.
did. Yeah. Yeah, they absolutely did.
Now,
I'm so glad Gypsy showed up. I've been really
that was a surprise.
I've been missing Golden Glider a lot, so I'm glad that there's somebody there taking that place.
That was a definite surprise to me. I really enjoyed that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, everything about the episode, I thought, honestly, I thought when I saw that finale, I thought, wow, this is the best CW finale ever. And then Wednesday night came along.
All right, hold on. One last thing about the Flash, though. I mean, how cool was it to see all 3 of them, 1, 2, 3? You know, Jay Garrick, Wally, and oh, come on.
Okay, and one more thing about the Flash, and this is, if anybody hasn't seen it and doesn't want spoilers and hasn't gotten enough spoilers yet, wants to tune out for a minute. With Barry doing what he did, to me, that was like, I really think at least for the first episode, I think and I'm hoping we're going to see Wally in the red suit. You know what I mean?
I want to see it. I'd rather see him in the silver one, but the red one's good as long as it frees up the yellow one for Bart.
Well, that's true too. That's what I was thinking, that they may start off the season with a condensed version of the 20 years between Infinite Crisis and 20 years between Crisis on Infinite Earths and Barry Allen's return. I think they might do a condensed version of that where Wally has been the Flash since Barry's been gone. Maybe Bart appears, and then they get into bringing Barry back. So
then you got Jay Garrick, Wally West, Bart Allen, and Barry Allen all running.
Right, and
I mean, that's amazing.
As soon as the episode ended, I could hear the beginning of next season. My name is Wally West. I've always been addicted to speed. My mentor gave the ultimate, sacrificed himself to save the Earth. Now, I am the fastest man alive. I am the Flash.
See, now, as soon as that all happened, my instant feelings were, and I said this to Nick the next day, I think they did all that because of the Justice League movie coming out. And this way they can, like, kind of hide Barry for a little while and do exactly what you said, like put Wally in the red suit for a while, and then they can bring Barry back in after a little bit, and then, you know what I mean? So the world is not confused by the two different Flashes and Barry Allens going on at the same time.
Yeah. That's kind of a sore spot for me. Like, I was so disappointed that DC did that, because Grant Gustin has done such a great job to me as the Flash.
Totally.
And, you know, like, you know, why would you bring somebody else in as the Flash on the movies? Why can't you, you know, to me, Marvel is connected between movies and TV. Why can't you do that? Why change the actors? But, you know, they have their reasons, and I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it either way, because it's still a superhero movie.
The crazy thing is, though, it's not just Grant Gustin that's putting on these superior performances. Like, could you imagine anybody else as Captain Cold right now? Could you imagine anybody else as Deathstroke? I think Deathstroke is the best live-action DC villain since Michael Rosenbaum set the bar as Lex Luthor.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yep. And how great was that last night to have him back finally?
I'll tell you what. I'm going to go back to last week when he showed up to tell him. Jumping out of my couch, like, can you hear me?
Yeah, you just cut out there for a minute.
Oh, yeah. I was saying, I'm going back to last week when Oliver went into the prison to talk to him and tell him he needs his help. At that point, it was like I was jumping off my couch and my arms were flailing in the air. Like, I was like freaking the hell out.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yo, and can I just say,
it was also seeing a Spartacus reunion on that show too. Another one of my favorite shows.
If Amanda Waller was there, it would have been complete.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh man. But come on, is everybody happy that Nyssa basically whooped her ass? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there was no contest. Like it
Yeah.
Whenever anything involves Nyssa, I'm happy.
Oh yeah. But again, look at that show. That's a show that took all these characters that didn't exist or were small characters, and now they're like fan favorite characters. You know what I mean? You look at I mean, honestly, everybody on the show just about was kind of a minor character or didn't exist, and now they're in the comics. Dig's in the comics. You know, so much. It's amazing. Who'd have thought that one of your favorite characters could be Quentin Lang? You know what I mean? Like,
well, one of my favorite parts of last night's episode was Felicity was a lot less whiny than usual.
Yes.
Hallelujah. Yeah. Now, and I actually, I in a message last night was talking to Big Daddy Cosplay about this. Who do you think lived and died?
I think all the good guys lived because Slade knows the island. There's no way. You know what I mean? Like
right.
Yeah.
And that's what I said to him. I said I think Slade really became the hero right then because he knows the island even better than Oliver, possibly. So there was a tunnel, a cave thing that he got everyone into. But I said I still think somebody died. And I'm thinking, maybe even a little hoping it was Felicity.
I'd be okay with the mom, to be honest with you.
Well, and now see, and that's what Big Daddy Cosplay said to me, and he made a good point. He said he thinks that, you know, the mother died, and next season the focus will be, can Oliver be a father, a vigilante, and a mayor?
That's a good call. That's a really good call.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that, but that makes a lot of sense.
I would say if I had two quote unquote complaints regarding the season finale, is the lack of anything resembling a Suicide Squad, especially when there was a minor reference on Flash, and also not having Roy. I don't know what the hell's going on there, but it's a mistake. Roy should be back.
And they even mentioned
it. Yeah.
I think it was last week's episode. I think they mentioned him.
Yeah, and I thought I read somewhere that he was going to be back by the end of the season.
Yeah, I wish I knew what was going on there. It just didn't happen. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved seeing, you know, Green Arrow and Red Arrow together when it was the two of them. I just thought that was so cool. That was, Oliver is CW's version of Batman. Can we agree on that?
Absolutely.
Okay, so that was like seeing Batman and Robin on TV, you know, Green Arrow and Red Arrow.
I think you're absolutely right, because when you think about that first scene where Oliver was there and Sarah came up and she was in full Black Canary gear, it reminds you of the rooftop scene with Catwoman and Batman.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
Very interesting. I can't wait now. I can't believe we're going to until October now for it to come back.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you guys, one of the show that's not getting as much love as it really should is Legends of Tomorrow, man. I had the most fun with that show this season.
Okay, I really, really enjoy that show, but what bothers me is that on The Flash, you have Barry traveling through time, changing something, and he changes things in Arrow. He changes the sex of Diggle's child, you know. But Legends of Tomorrow, they hop all through the time periods, and you don't see that reflected in the other shows, really.
Now, and listen, you're 100% right. Like, there's no argument there. It's just that with Legends, I can turn that part of my brain off, like, because it's just a fun, like, what-if episode. Almost every episode, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I do miss Hawkgirl, though.
I do, but I loved the interaction between Steel and Ray. Like they're geek trying to the out-geeking of each other.
Yeah. But shouldn't Steel be called Commander Steel? Wasn't that the actual character's name in the comic?
Well, I want to say that if the grandfather was Commander Steel and the kid is Citizen Steel, right?
Citizen Steel. Okay, yeah. Yeah, because they're just calling him Steel. So every time I hear Steel, I'm thinking of, you know, Steel from Superman.
Yeah.
But I know who the character is, but I think that actor and that character was a great addition to the show. I really enjoyed Hawkgirl, especially since she started on Flash and then went to Legends of Tomorrow.
Right. It was nice to have that connection, and she was a great character to have around. I do wish that they, go back to that someday. But I the first season with Vandal Savage, it was a kind of a serious season, and then going into the second season, they did a lot of just like pop culture stuff, a lot of messing with history, and it just ended up being fun.
They had George Lucas in Legends of Tomorrow. Come on.
Yes.
That was great.
And I love how when George Lucas was going to disappear, you had Ray, who was stopped being a scientist because of
Right.
Star Wars,
Right.
and the other guy stopped being an archaeologist because of Indiana Jones.
Exactly. That was perfect. And they even had zombies in the Civil War.
Yeah,
Wasn't that one episode? Yeah.
Rory.
It's a fun show. It's a fun season. Rory.
And two characters, again, that stood out are Sarah coming into her role as Captain and Rory. You took like a D-level villain and made him one of the best characters on the show.
Yeah, and see, that's another thing I miss, too, about the show was at the end of season 1, it was Sarah and Captain Cold who saw something brewing there, a relationship brewing. I loved their interaction. And that season 1, that still bothers me. I mean, come on. Did he really have to hold that button? He's got a freeze gun. Couldn't he have frozen it in place and put an ice wall around it, and they all could have survived? Come on. But, it was a hero's death, so that's fine.
Yeah, plus,
and they found a way to bring him back.
You know what I mean? Like, Sarah's the only one on the boat having as much sex as she wants. You know what I mean? Like,
in every time zone she goes to.
Well, yeah, she's the female Captain Kirk, basically.
That's
funny. So great.
And again, they took a character like White Canary, which was really like a fake reference to a character, and turned her into this awesome. I mean, arguably, people like Sarah more than they do Laurel, right? I mean, can we agree on that?
I'm not arguing. I'm in total agreement. In fact, and I'll tell you what, the new Black Canary on Green Arrow, I like her better than Laurel.
I love seeing the Black Canary cry off. That was awesome.
Right. Yeah, that was great. I mean, Laurel was fun. She was a good character. The actress did a good job, but to me, Sarah was a much stronger Black Canary. And
I agree.
And the new one, again, the new one isn't as strong as Sarah, but she's stronger than Laurel as far as the character goes to me. Yeah.
Good stuff. It's I guess last night during the finale of Arrow, like seeing all those characters, it's still, and you can say this for all of those shows, it's just mind blowing to actually be able to see these characters on television, because you got to admit you never expect to see 90% of these characters on TV.
Right, and just the whole Invasion crossover. How great was that mid-season, seeing all the shows cross over together, all the lineup of all the heroes together it was like my childhood dreams of the 70s come true.
Right.
No, I'm totally with you, man. Last week or so I posted a picture, and it was the death of Supergirl picture where Superman's holding her, and it was the one from the episode, and it was just like, I got to see that in live action.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And it was awesome. It wasn't cheesy. It rocked. And that's, you can talk all the shit you want about the DC movies. You didn't like this, you didn't like that. When you see Aquaman riding on the top of the Batmobile, how can you not smile?
Right, but come on, how can you not like Jason Momoa as any character? He's just a great presence, and for him to be Aquaman, to finally make the character cool is amazing. Yeah, who else could make Aquaman cool?
Totally, I'm with you.
Oh man, I'm loving it. I'm loving all these shows.
Yeah.
And
it's a great time to be a geek.
It is, because now you don't. Back in the day you used to just get one, like Superman would come out, and that's all you got. And then Batman came out, and then you didn't get anything else. But now, like, I love Green Arrow like they love Flash. You know what I mean? He loves Flash like you love Batman. Like, we all have something to reach out to now. It's an amazing time to be a comic book fan.
Absolutely. And I don't know, I haven't followed Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't know if you guys do or not. Obviously, I'm not the biggest Marvel fan. I do enjoy the movies. I was a Marvel fan way back when, but for the past, 20 years, I haven't really picked up a Marvel comic. But when I heard Ghost Rider was going to be on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I had to watch the first few episodes, and I thought it was a great version of the character.
It was, and there was a little almost cameo. You know what I mean? They showed another Ghost Rider get off a motorcycle, and they almost showed you his leg. Yeah. But it was. The effect was awesome. The way that he used the chains was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't watch the rest of the season. I didn't see the finale. I heard a little bit about it, but it seems like they're doing a good job there too. It's just comics are everywhere and doing a great job.
I will tell you this, as a fan of Captain America and the Patriot and stuff like that, later on in the end of the season, you get a true Patriot moment where he's in the suit and he's strong, and it's a real awesome payoff. It was the best season I think in a long time.
Good. And how about the Netflix shows? You guys watch the Netflix Marvel shows? All right. What is your, out of the ones we've seen so far, Daredevil with 2 seasons, we saw Jessica Jones, we saw Luke Cage and Iron Fist, and now they're leading into the Defenders, which we haven't seen yet. Of those 4 shows, which is your favorite?
I'm going to say Daredevil season 2.
Yeah, I'd say I've only seen the Daredevils and Jessica Jones, but I'm going to lean towards Daredevil without a doubt.
Okay. I thought that until I saw Luke Cage. Luke Cage is the first Marvel Netflix series that I could not stop watching. I had to binge watch it in 24 hours. It was, everything about it was amazing to me. It was great. The acting was incredible. It was funny. There was so much humor in it. Daredevil was great, especially season 2. And to me, season 2, The Punisher is what really made season 2. John Bernthal did, he blew everybody else away as the Punisher.
There was this religion versus philosophy thing going on between the 2 characters, and their fight / conversation stuff. I mean, honestly, it was some of the best TV of that year. Right.
Absolutely.
But Bay, you said you haven't watched Luke Cage yet?
I haven't, but I'll tell you what, after you saying how you just described it, I think I'm going to start watching it over the weekend.
Okay, you got to watch it, and you remember the 70s Luke Cage with the afro, the tiara, and the yellow shirt?
Yep.
You actually get to see that at one point. And they make it make sense in the story. How can you make that outfit make sense? But they made it make sense for one episode. It was great. And I'm really looking forward to the Defenders. To see them all together.
I got to tell you, with Jessica Jones, I think that they set a new standard because prior to that, everybody was like Loki. But the truth is, Tennant blew that out of the water. He was scary good.
He was.
Mhm. Right. I agree with that, but to me too, the villains in Luke Cage were like real world scary.
Right. Now, with that being said, do you think that they regret getting rid of Cottonmouth because he went on to win an Oscar?
They didn't watch it yet. Why did you do that?
We've talked about it on the show like 17 times already.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I don't think they would regret it because his whole storyline and the whole way it ended made so much sense and added so much to the series. You know, that was a turning point in the show to me. The way he ended up.
Yeah, no, totally. And it brought the next bad guy into kind of his own.
Right, like who really is the villain.
Right. Now, I got to say, as much as I like Luke Cage, and I know it's controversial and some people didn't like it, but I kind of loved Iron Fist. Like,
I did too. I enjoyed it. I don't know why everybody had a problem, or so many people had a problem with it. That's another one. I flew through it, and I flew through Daredevil. Jessica Jones I actually had trouble with. I just didn't get into it as much as first. But I kind of flew through Iron Fist. I enjoyed it. But Luke Cage is the one to me that it was just like there were so many 70s.
Yeah.
So much humor and action. I couldn't stop watching it.
Oh, that's awesome. And now we have a couple more coming next season. Not, we have Black Lightning on CW, but then on Freeform you have Cloak and Dagger. You have The Runaways coming on Hulu, and the Defenders. There's Gifted on Fox, which is going to be an X-Men series.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Pretty nuts, man. It's a great time to be a fan.
It really is. Cool. Well, let me ask you this, Batman. Out of the Philadelphia area, who I'll let you pick three. Who were your three favorite cosplayers?
Ooh, wow, that's unfair. You're going to make people mad at me now.
Yeah, I can't wait to read the comments tomorrow.
I know, right?
Wow, that is so unfair. Okay, let's see. How can I do this? There's no doubt about it to me. My number one favorite is Lady J Cosplay. She is the one person, no matter where I see her, when I see her, what she's doing, whatever the conditions, she always, always, always has a smile on her face and takes time with everybody and is just so outgoing and nice no matter what's going on with her.
I'll tell you what, she is one person that no matter who I've talked to, they praise her, and she's an amazing person.
Right. So she's number one. You're killing me, Bay. You're really gonna pay for this. Okay. So, well, you mentioned Echo, and Echo, even though she was my opponent or one of my opponents in the cosplay presidential race, she nails She-Hulk. She just nailed it. Like you said, you can't think of anybody else as She-Hulk once you see her.
Right.
And again, she's the same way. She is so nice to talk to, and so friendly, and does things for anybody. She's just a really genuinely nice person.
amazing talent too.
Yeah, and I mean, all her other cosplays are great too. You know, she does several. Oh, she did a female version of Blue Devil. Did you ever see that one?
Yes.
Yeah, it's just great. So there's another one. Now, in the Philadelphia area. You're killing me.
I'll let you expand. You can expand the area if you want.
Well, that makes it worse. That actually makes it worse. Thanks a lot.
Okay, so stay back to Gotham City here.
All right. Well, all right. Let's restrict it to Gotham. Thank you. Okay. Oh boy, it still makes it bad. 12. Boy. Right. I'm gonna go with someone who's actually not in the area anymore, but she was basically my main Robin of Pathia-Size Cosplay.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
She was. Yeah, she does a Damian Wayne version of Robin, and you know she actually at the time lived in Delaware, Maryland, I forget, big Delaware, but came down to Ontario Street for the last Batman Day.
Right.
And was there all day, did a lot of great pictures, and now moved to Florida.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But so like her, and I that's another one that I've met. Wow, it's been probably over close to 2 years now through different cons. You know, would see her at different cons, and we'd always get pictures together, and just it was the perfect Damian Wayne Robin. But
that's awesome.
I mean, there's so many others too. It's like everybody that I meet, and end up you see the same people at different events over and over again, different different conventions. You see the same people, and like Mike McManus, I see him around a lot, and he's
another one who's amazing.
He's a nut. He cracks you up every time. He's fun. Scott Matthew, who he's married with Cosplay, is his Facebook, and he does Batman. He also does a great Mr. Miracle, and we have been known to share some bat whiskey together at conventions from time to time, because he actually has a bat flask. Yeah. Everybody from Haiku Maiden,
great.
Captain Kyle, and it goes on and on and on. And my other competition in the cosplay presidential race, Aaron. I'm trying to think of what his cosplay had. Iron Man. You remember him?
Okay.
Hey, yeah.
Yes.
He was at the Marvel vs. DC Day too. He's another one. Actually, Iron Man made my batarangs. I will admit it here. Aaron actually made those flip-out batarangs that I carry on my utility belt.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. But honestly, I'm trying to think of. Honestly, it's hard to think of anybody I've met that cosplays that I, don't like. They're everybody just goes out there, has fun, and shows their fandom. They love the character. They love talking to people, taking pictures with kids, taking pictures with other people. It's fun, and as long as people are having fun and not putting others down, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, from what I see, the community of cosplayers here in the Philadelphia area, I mean, it's a really good bunch of people.
Yeah. I really haven't had a bad experience. I have seen some things online that people post and certain comments that there's a lot of. It seems to me there's more drama online than when you're face to face.
Yeah. Well, I'd rather have it that way than face to face.
Well, you know what? Honestly, to me, if you have a problem, say it to my face. Don't, I don't go for all the. This one said this. This one said that online. Just if you have a problem with me, say it to me.
I remember he is Batman.
I am Batman. I am vengeance. I am night. I am Batman.
Where can everybody find you, Batman? This way everybody can check you out, like you, love you, follow you.
Well, as you know, Darkknight of PA Cosplay on Facebook. Actually, in my Instagram, I have to check that because I think it's just Darkknight Cosplay because somebody else actually had the other one, but let me check.
Really? How dare they?
Really? Yeah, I was surprised. Well, actually, on Facebook it's Darkknight of PA Cosplay, but it's actually facebook.com/Darkknight Cosplay. On Instagram, it's Darkknight of PA. So, Darkknight Cosplay, Darkknight of PA. And,
very, very cool.
Actually, just keep watching. The best place to find me and see what I'm doing seems to be just keep track of Ontario Street Comics.
Will you be at
some kind of pirate tracer on me or something?
He has the bat signal.
Yeah.
Will you be appearing at Wonder Woman Day?
That actually, I don't think so. That's like I said, that's my birthday weekend, so I may be out of the limelight for the weekend.
Nice.
I may be, hiding in the Batcave or doing something Metropolis away from here.
There you go. Absolutely. Hey, you got to enjoy yourself too, Batman.
Yeah, every now and then.
Every now and then. Well, you know what? This has been awesome. I want to thank you for calling in and being a guest and all the superhero and comic book talk and Batman talk and cosplay talk. And thank you for being our featured cosplayer of the first issue.
Hey, thank you, and I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you asking me to be on here. And I'm sure
Absolutely.
I will see you around at Ontario Street, at conventions, all over the place.
Absolutely. Cool. Well, thanks again, man. And, we'll be talking soon. Can't wait to see you again.
All right. Batman
Take
signing
care.
out. All right. See you. Bye.
See ya.